Good morning, YouTube. My name is Kane. This is Clouds Below. This is a feather sitting in front of me that I will collect here in a second. This is a little indie platformer. I think this was made in a game jam sort of thing 1 week out. Excuse me, I'm dying. It's a platformer where you play this little, what I believe is a girl. And you have to go around and you have to gather up these feathers. And I don't know what happens when you gather them all up, because I've only gathered about, I think, 3 before I turned off the game to make sure I had everything figured out. Now, I only have a few minor gripes, this being one of them. I am playing, as you can hear, with a keyboard and mouse, which means sometimes I have to figure out... Whoop, that's the wrong button. I have to figure out what I'm doing just by button mashing. Thankfully, there's only Shift, Spacebar, WAS and D, and F. If she didn't do it. This is going to be one of those times where I realize I'm actually really terrible at platformers, isn't it? Now, other than that, there's some tweaky... I'm going to wait down here to say this before I reveal everything. There's some tweaky camera controls that I wish I could just use the mouse with, that we'll get to later. It's all playable, it's all good, and with some tweaking I can see this becoming a really solid game. Mainly because this is so damn pretty. The first time I saw this, I was absolutely speechless. It is just gorgeous. Now I'm going to try not to crash horribly into the side of this. And honestly, like, everything is just amazing. Everything has some interactivity. I was hoping that I would actually turn that and something would happen. I don't have words though. It's just... It is such a pretty game, and the platforming is solid enough while you're exploring that it's a challenge, but it's not so challenging that you can't sit and enjoy how everything looks. And I just love games like this, where it's more about the exploration than the gameplay, but still has gameplay. I'm looking at you, dear other. Okay, so I'm going to get, well, as far as I can get in about 25-30 minutes, and then I'll wrap it up. So I would like to point out how convoluted this would be to get around, which I think is really kind of hilarious. I'm having trouble coming up with words. I'm like too busy listening to the music in this game. The music, the scenery, everything really well designed. The only gripes I have are minor and easily ignored once you know what you're doing. Oop, come on. There we go. That was one of the wonky camera angles that I was talking about. That it's just hard to see where you're going, and sometimes the controls don't work in sync with the camera, and everything just was annoying the first time I did that, but once I figured that out, everything else kind of fell together. So, as of right here, this very rock is where I stopped playing last. So, let's figure out what's going on from here. I'm assuming I have to blow wind on this. Yes! Wow, that's speedy. I would break my neck if I tried to do this. So let's go up here. And what's this thing? Another feather? Oh! Hey! Giant horn. Oh! Did that, like, start up some, I can't think of the word. Basically windy things, and yes, that's a technical term. So let's go over here. I'm assuming this is where it wants us to go. Oh! Okay. Caught the wind. I'm fairly certain I'm coming down with a head cold, so if I sound like I do, and I'm coughing a lot, that is why. Okay, so what's this do? Okay, that raises it up, so let's raise it about there. And if I'm right, I can hop up here, and then hop up here, and hopefully not screw it all up. Ooh. Okay, so I have to hop up there, and then I have to kind of glide over. Damn it. This is one of those things where I wish the camera would work with me a little. Try again. This is one of those things where I wish the camera would work with me a little bit because it keeps like zooming all over the place. Okay, so maybe that's not what I'm supposed to do. Let's try over here. It looks like there's something that we have to swing around over here. Oh, more camera wonkiness. So, oh, physics. I can do physics. There we go. I'm dying. Come on, let me move. Come on. Oh, am I supposed to get that rock onto that? Maybe? I'm not entirely sure, honestly. So, can I do anything with this? Well, I mean, the camera changed, so this is obviously something. Oh, okay. So we do have to get the rock up there somehow. Can I push it around? I can! Okay, so let's lower this down. I can puzzle games, guys. Ooh. Camera wonkiness. Only gripe I have in this game. So let's push that on there. And then raise that up there. And hope it doesn't fall and crush me. Okay, that's up there. Now we hop up here. Bounce up here. Bounce up here. And now we have to get this thing over onto the crackly bit. It slides like it's on ice. Okay, I have the thing on the crackly bit, so now do I just... Ah! That's how I get over here. Ooh. Okay, I'm 98% certain that isn't how that was supposed to go down, but it works for me. So let's go over here. So what's up here? Looks like another horn, and probably another feather. So, I don't know the story of this at all. I don't think there is any, or if there is, it's somewhere on their website and I was being blind and dumb. Oh, there's no feather up here. Okay, so... Oh, there's the feather. Okay, so it's a jumping puzzle now. Oh. Okay. Perfect balance. Okay, let's... Uh-oh. Well, shit. Okay, it doesn't... It's not that punishing. So let's try that again. If I blow on this horn again, will it make the air currents? That's the word I was thinking of. Air currents. Okay, so we'll jump and we'll glide and we'll go down and eat. Feather, balance. Okay, I think we're going to need, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're gonna need about 8 more. Or I'm being dumb. Ooh, see, that's what I'm talking. I'm gonna end up killing myself doing this. Or they're just glued to the rock on a pivot point. But that's what I mean, it's just everything in this game is so damn pretty. So, let's go over here. Since this looks like something. Ooh, the music stopped. There's still sound in the game. That's weird. Okay, is this where, like, screaming death metal happens? And I have to, like, run from everything? Nope, it was just that particular pedestal. Those aren't clouds, those are flying rocks. Oh! Mind the trees. God. I wish there was someplace I could buy the soundtrack for this. I hope there wasn't a feather I missed back there. Ooh. I'm gonna land on this. I'm gonna land on it. No, I'm gonna have to land on it. They got rid of my air currents. Okay. Well, this is slightly daunting. Oh! Okay, so we have to gather up all the feathers for the bird statue. So, if I blow in this, will it get rid of the fog? Ooh, my frame rate has died. I called it. Oh, wow. I have no words. That was just the intro sequence. Wow. Oh. Did everything just die? Did I just... Oh. Okay! So, apparently that's the end of the preview build. So, there's the eagle that we've been collecting feathers from. And this is where it begins, so... I can't speak for the rest of you, but I am very much going to buy this game when it comes out in its prime. It's honestly, it has so much potential and so much promise, and other than the screwy camera angles at times and not having the keyboard controls alongside the Xbox 360 controls, I have no gripes about it. It's enjoyable, it feels nice, the flying is fun. I honestly have nothing else I can say about it. It's just, it's so nice, it's relaxing, it's calming. The few times I stumbled over this puzzle or that puzzle getting to where I was supposed to go, I didn't like end up swearing, I didn't throw anything. I just took a breath, listened to the music. It was really good at making sure that the atmosphere stayed light enough that you didn't want to throw things constantly. And honestly, it has so much potential. This game is currently free to download at a link that I will link below down in the description. And honestly, just go try it. It's free, try it. If you don't like it, all you've lost is 13 minutes of time, because that's how long this recording has been going on. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time. And I don't know what happens when you gather them all up, because I've only gathered about, I think, 3 before I turned off the game to make sure I had everything figured out. Now, I only have a few minor gripes, this being one of them. I am playing, as you can hear, with a keyboard and mouse, which means sometimes I have to figure out... Whoop, that's the wrong button. I have to figure out what I'm doing just by button mashing. Now I'm going to try not to crash horribly into the side of this. And honestly, like, everything is just amazing. Everything has some interactivity. I was hoping that I would actually turn that and something would happen. I don't have words, though. It's just... It is such a pretty game, and... Good morning, YouTube. My name is Kane. This is Clouds Below. This is a feather sitting in front of me that I will collect here in a second. This is a little indie platformer. I think this was made in a game jam sort of thing 1 week out. Excuse me, I'm dying. It's a platformer where you play this little, what I believe is a girl. And you have to go around and you have to gather up these feathers. Thankfully, there's only Shift, Spacebar, W, A, S, and D, and F. If she didn't do it. This is going to be one of those times where I realize I'm actually really terrible at platformers, isn't it? Now, other than that, there's some tweaky... I'm going to wait down here to say this before I reveal everything. There's some tweaky camera controls that I wish I could just use the mouse with, that we'll get to later. It's all playable, it's all good, and with some tweaking, I can see this becoming a really solid game. Mainly because this is so damn pretty. The first time I saw this, I was absolutely speechless. It is just gorgeous.